Hello everyone, today we'll check out how to get an asset from the asset library from Godot. And then we'll check out how to move around the screen in case you forget it, okay? So let's get a 3D platformer. Consider it is an MIT project, so you can do whatever you want with it. And then you can download and select the location you want it to be. I already have one prepared. We'll be using this 3D platformer later to check out how everything works, to learn some new tricks, and then we'll be expanding upon it to do new stuff, okay? So, right now you can see the game right here. You can move with the right mouse button to rotate the camera. You can press the middle mouse button to move like this. Then you can rotate and move again, so you're gonna go far away. Okay? You can also press Shift F to change to first person mode. With WASD, you can move these keys. You can also press Shift to go fast, and also press E and Q to go up and down, okay? So you can press Shift F again to get your mouse back, and that's all for now. Thank you very much, see you next time. Hello everyone, today we'll be learning about 3D platform movement. We'll be doing the basics right now, and over the course we'll be learning a lot of stuff, okay? So here we have a 3D platformer template. The files for that will be available. It's MIT. You can use it for whatever you want. So here we have a basic project, okay? And we'll be doing everything that's over here. We'll be learning from scratch. We'll be just using the models. We will use some of the code, but all of that I'll be writing again, so it's explained as we go along. So you don't need to be confused as you look at it. And right here, let's check out how it's going to look over time, okay? We are going to be using more stuff than it's over here, so we are going to be improving on this template. You can see that we can jump, okay? You can move around. The camera follows, okay? Collecting coins. We have a platform over here that falls, okay? We have some clouds over here. And when he falls, he dies. Goes back to the start. We'll be improving on that, we'll be adding more stuff, and it's going to be very interesting, okay? So let's close this. Let's make our new folder for our own features. It's going to be new features. Okay? So you can have those stuff as a basis in case you want to reuse stuff from that later. Okay? And let's create a folder for objects. We have another one over here, right? So going to be our new objects. We have a new scene. And we'll have new scripts. Okay? Let's go to the scene folder and create a new scene. This is going to be our main game. Okay? And we have a 3D scene over here. Need to select this. Here you can see it's empty. We will be getting over here over time, but right now I can close this. So, it's empty, we don't have anything. First of all, let's start with one simple platform. So, we can check on the folder that has the models. Let's pick a big platform, this platform large. And we're going to be making a new object out of this one. Let's say it's on 0, 0. Okay? So over here, we can check on this button over here, opening editor. It's going to be opening directly on this this file that's imported. Okay? We're going to be picking this platform large. That's just the model, not the node. Okay? We're going to save this as a scene. And this is going to be going to the features objects. Going to be our big platform. Okay? Let's make sure it's saved. We don't need this one over here. And just a second. I think it's saved already. But yeah, this one you can remove. We should have it over here. Oh, now look at it. It's all right. So it's just what we need, and not a node. We have everything over here. And let's add a child resource. Going to be your static body 3D. And then we're going to be adding collision shape 3D. Going to be a box. Okay, have it over here. We're going to be moving it so the box is the entire size of the platform. Over here. And this box doesn't need to be this tall. You see that's over the size of the platform, right? So shrink it a little bit. And right now it's the correct size. Okay. Very nice, right? So this platform is ready. We can just save this. Okay. We have the main game. It's empty, but let's pick up this new platform that we just made. Okay. Let's rename it to big platform. You can also go directly over here and try to rename it over here. So the new ones are already the right name. Okay. Let's put a new one over here. Yeah, this one picks from the last pattern. So we can delete this one. Let's start working on our character. Very well. So first of all, now is a good time to add a camera so we can see stuff happening, right? Let's add a view. Actually, 3D node. And let's name this 3D node view. Okay. And inside of this 3D node, that's going to be on the 0 position. We should have this on the 0 position as well. Inside of this view, we're going to be adding our camera. Okay. Later, we are going to be adding code to this camera so it follows the player properly. But for now, let's just put it into a good view. 2 viewports, side by side. Yeah. We have the camera selected over here. We can click on preview to see exactly what the camera is seeing. So it's over here, it's inside of the platform, but we don't want it right there. Let's move it up and let's move it back. So right now we have the platform, we have the camera. Now we only need our character. So let's add a new node. It's going to be a character body 3D. Okay, let's name it new player. Very well. So inside of this guy, we want to add a collision shape and our character. So we have the mod of the character over here and drag it directly. And here it is. Okay, let's just check if it's on the right position, 0 and 0 over here as well. So let's move it. We don't need the camera for now anymore. This is what the camera sees. This is our Godot scene view. Okay, one viewport, just our Godot scene now. Let's move our character up. And here's a good spot. Very well. So let's add a collision shape 3D. And we want it to be a capsule. A capsule is going to be good for this project, okay? So just for now, let's move this a little bit up. You can see that the capsule is way bigger than the character. So we need to adjust the size. Put this over here. Now it's the right size, right? And now let's put it back where it's supposed to be. Over here. Nice. Let's start coding for real right now, okay? So let's make a new script. Going to be our new player JD. That works fine. Let's put it into the script folder. Going up, scripts, and now it's on the right folder. And we can create it. As we select the character body, it already comes with some pre-made code, okay? We don't need this right now because we're going to be writing everything. We can just remove this. But this is something that's worth checking out later, okay? So we're going to write pass over here. Right now we just have something that extends from the character body, so it houses all of the variables that a character body 3D has. And we can check it from over here. The same as this over here, okay? Has some reading variables like velocity and those sort of things. But we can just check that as we go along, okay? So first of all, it's a good idea to start with setting up some variables that we can use to control our movement later on. So first, a var, that's for variable, movement speed, that's going to be equal to 250, okay? Another variable that's going to be a var, movement velocity, that's going to be 2 dots, vector 3. So what's the difference between this and this? This, we are just using a variable and saying that's a number, that's 250, okay? And this is a vector 3, that's an arrow that points in the 3 dimensions, going to be having a 3 values, an x, y, and z. We'll check that as we go along, okay? But basically, it's going to be pointing where the character is going in the game, okay? So we are going to be adding some more variables later, but for now this is enough. We're going to make 2 auxiliary functions. A function is something that's going to be called on the script. We have a function for a physics process that happens every frame. Every time something happens that's a microsecond on the game, this is going to happen. The delta is the time between frames, okay? We don't need to know exactly what it is. It depends on how fast the game is processing, how many frames per second it has. So we're going to make some auxiliary functions. One that's going to be the handle controls delta 2 dots, going to be a fun. And we're going to pass for now as it has nothing. Okay? We're going to be calling this over here handle controls delta. We're passing the same delta value that is over here into this guy. So it happens every frame, the same way that this one happens. Okay? And right here, we're going to be making a var input. Okay? And we're going to be assigning it to a vector 3.0. Basically, these 2 dots in equal are telling the input that it is a vector 3 and it's always going to be a vector 3. So it helps us with code suggestions, and it makes the code go slightly faster when we always tell the variable which kind of variable it is. In this case, it's a vector 3. Okay? So how do we add an input to the game? Let's check on the project. Okay? Project settings. And on the input map of the controls, we set up all of the controls right here. Okay? So we have a move right, move left, move forward, move back. These ones are already set up. We can check out in more detail how to set a new one up. But for example, let's say we want to add a confirm action. going to show up on the bottom over here. And then we add a button. It's whatever we press while it's waiting is going to be that button. So let's say we want enter. It's going to be the enter button and OK. So you see the confirm is now entered. But we don't need that, so we remove it. Okay? Here we have the movements. We are going to be using move right, move left, move forward, and move back. Okay? So we are going to be using this input, right? Input dot x equals input dot get x. The get axis is a value between -1 and 1. Okay? And the get axis is for first the negative value and then the positive value. We are going to put a move left and then a move right. Okay? It's going to be the x value of our character. Okay? Input dot z equals input dot get axis move forward, then move back. There is a reason why the move forward is on the negative right now, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay? So right now we can just make the movement velocity to be equal to input, that is what we did just now, times movement speed times delta. Okay? That's the value from the frame. If you don't use the data, you can cause some bugs later on. Okay? Because it's not going to be moving relative to the frame. So it's going to be looking very random if you don't put the delta. So for now, actually, we just need to, after this, currently we just have a position to where we want the character to go, but it's not going to be moving. Okay? So we can go to the physics process over here. After we get the controls, we'll make a section for movement. This is how we make a comment in Godot, okay? Going to be a var applied velocity. It's going to be the velocity that we are going to be actually using, okay? Going to be a vector 3. This applied velocity it is good practice to pick the velocity. This is a variable from inside the character body, okay? And this is the one we just created. We're going to be doing a lerp. A lerp is a linear interpolation. So we're going to be picking up from the current velocity and moving towards the velocity that we want it to be. So movement velocity and a delta times 10. The delta is a very small value, so if we multiply it by 10, it's going to be a faster progression towards the pod that we want. Okay? And after that, the only thing left to do is to write move and slide. That's the function from the physics process that is going to be moving your character. Going to be moving it accordingly to the right velocity that we are going to be putting the velocity into the applied velocity. Right now we just set it up to be a value relative to the current velocity, and this is when we attach the new velocity. And now it's going to move. Right now it's enough to be able to see a movement in the game. So let's test it out. We're going to be going to the project settings, and let's check on the in general. Okay, you can move around with this. If you can see all of your buttons over here, right? We are going to go on application, run, and we are going to be picking the scene that we just made. So you can see the game, how it's going to be, is how we are using it right now, not how it was, how it can be on the future that we saw previously. Okay, so you can save it, and it's going to be looking exactly like this. Press play. Right now you see the character over here. We press left and right, and we press W to go forth, and it's going to the back, and S to go the other way. So naturally you want it to go backwards. Why is it inverted, the forward and the backwards? Because we are going to be moving according to the camera. Okay, when we go to work on the camera, we will talk more about that. So as this video is pretty extensive right now, we will be finishing up for now, and we'll be doing more stuff with the camera and rotating the character. We will do more movement stuff on the next video. So thank you guys very much, and talk to you guys next time.